Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer. Welcome to the Impactful Engineer. Our mission is to give you the blueprint for career excellence, not just textbooks answers. To have honest conversations for engineers who are sick of the status quo. But who are we? Why should you listen to what we have to say? Well, I'm Steve Maxey, and after a decade of grinding as a product development engineer, I changed my approach and started advancing quickly to my current role as a senior manager in product development. And I'm here with my brother Jake, who found career success as a senior electrical engineer, but is now building NLS Engineering, a consulting firm in the AEC industry. We believe the biggest problems you face aren't technical, they're human. And we're here to open the door for you to make your career undeniably great with mindset shifts and tools to use daily. But it takes your decisive action to make it happen.
What's up, man?
Hello, Jacob.
Shouldn't listen to us.
So,
shouldn't listen to us. There's no should.
Well, I was actually thinking about the other day, and
but you can.
The first 10 years of my career, I didn't even double my salary right out of school, didn't even double it. But then the last 5 years, right, of it, I've doubled it.
Right.
So it's obviously the mindset shifts. And, putting a lot of things that we've learned over the, past decade made sense for us to pursue, right? It made a difference. So that's just more of the proof of why we talk about what we talk about and why we share our experiences, because it's helped us and hopefully it can help someone else too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
unleashing that potential that you built up for that last 10 years. Because if you don't turn the knob to let it out, it's just gonna sit there. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Want to run through the housekeeping real quick, and then we can get started.
3 typical episode types. One is Steve and I get on here like this one, share what has worked for us, and you shouldn't follow any of it, but you can follow all of it, whatever you want to do. Second type is either one of us gets on here just for a solo episode. We're doing the same thing, but we're sharing something more tailored, intimate, whatever you want to call it, examples, all these things that come from, just our personal experience. And the third type is guest episodes, where we bring people on that have valuable experience and knowledge, and call it what you will, to share, that we find highly valuable for ourselves, as well as we think would be valuable for you guys. So that's the 3 episode types.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right. I was thinking this morning during my cardio walk, power walk, whatever, that in my career, I was a single engineer in a company, or one of 2 engineers in a company at times, right? And so how do you develop as an engineer when you don't have someone who is a very experienced mentor or someone there to learn the ropes from, right? How do you develop? How do you grow? How do you even know what you're doing is right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, there's a lot of engineers out there that are in that situation. And even right out of school, right? There's a startup company and they're like, oh, we need to hire 1 engineer to do all of our engineering. And they're like, well, we can't afford some person who has 20 years experience. So we're just going to get a new grad. And so they have someone fresh out of school. All they have is school experience, and they're the only engineer, and they have no one to look up to, no one to learn from. There's going to be a lot of folks out there that are in that situation, right? Yep. In those shoes. So I wanted to talk about it.
It's a great topic. And the good news is it's going to be really easy to overcome that today. So especially in these days, this day and age, I guess, is how the saying goes. Because I was never that, but I have a very good idea of how to recreate what I did have, even if you're by yourself. So I have some thoughts. On it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, actually, why don't you jump off first? What do you think if you're if you're a brand new engineer right out of school and you are the only person at that company, what's your first
Number
step?
one, I would buy the experience. So I would save up and find any way that I could pay someone to be part of a group, to do anything that would bring me closer to learning things about the engineering industry that I'm in. You know, that's why I said earlier, like, it's easier to do it today because there are so many groups.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit ones, and there's just gonna be people out there that like started an AI business around that, and they really don't know what they're doing. And sometimes you'll run across ones that it were kind of a waste of money, but I think in the aggregate, you're going to learn a whole lot. And of course, it would take outside investment, and you're spending money, and it's outside of work hours. But hey, if you want to learn quickly and advance, then that's what you're going to do, right? So I would spend money on myself by investing in groups and stuff like that. So you'd have to figure out what group to become a part of, and in my experience, you really do that by just joining, and then you figure out, well, this group is shit. Like, what's the next one? You might drop a few, you might burn a few dollars. That's all right. The second one is,
But
yeah,
Jake,
yeah. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, but Jake, I don't have any
Sure
money
you
to spend.
do. Go find it. If that's your response, then just turn the show off. You're not gonna figure it out. Yeah, I know that was rude, but it's just the truth. I mean, we like to tell the truth on the podcast, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't figure that out, then even go back to step one.
But there's so many resources, right? I mean, even free ones like podcasts, obviously, right? That's where we are right now. YouTube videos. I mean, this is
and that was the
YouTube education.
Yeah. The next one for me is unpaid.
Generation.
The unpaid ones. Like, it doesn't cost anything to listen to podcasts. Now, my view on this, though, technical is becoming commoditized. The intelligence you can delegate. There's just so much that you can use these days to bring your technical ability, up further. And we've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take advantage of being the only engineer, because every other person you talk to in your company is going to be not an engineer, and they're going to teach you all sorts of other shit that they know a lot about, that is very good for the future of your career, business wise, management wise, financially, HR, all the pillars of business. You're going to learn all that stuff from other people because they're not engineers. So that'd be great for you.
Yeah. So I'd like to add a little bit of input here. Is from my experience, when I was in those situations, I had to be relentlessly curious, and it was a little harder when I was a younger engineer. Not hard, but a little harder, because I had to Google search things. I had to read articles and et cetera, et cetera. Now you have AI. You can literally just sit there and ask it specific questions, and it will do all of the searching for you. And it will basically walk you through how to do things. But even without AI, you can read books, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch videos on YouTube, Google search. There's websites like Engineer's Edge, right? That's a website I used to use a lot. That just has like a bunch of equations and like how to do things and like clearances of things, blah blah blah. You just have to exercise your relentless curiosity, ask questions out in the ether, right, online, etc. Because you can't ask those questions to people who are in your vicinity at work that are engineers, because there aren't any. But that's what served me the best, was just being extremely curious and just digging deep and researching and learning, etc.
And then just realizing that if you're the only engineer and you're supremely like underqualified and like inexperienced and all that stuff, it's like everyone knows that, and they're taking a risk
Yeah.
on you by using
Yeah.
that strategy not to pony up for the experienced person. So just use it for what it is. It's a great spot to be
Yeah.
in. They know, you know,
Yeah.
like
And they're going to give you the grace of being able to make mistakes, right? And so you can leverage that into just iteratively figuring things out,
Yeah.
right? Oh, I'm just going to try it, see if it works, right? Oh, does this material hold up to the stress that I needed to hold up to? Well, let's try it. Let's weigh it down and see if it breaks.
Exactly.
Right?
And you get to do that because you're the lead engineer.
Yeah. You get to
You're the
experiment.
process. Yeah. And like,
yeah. And then just document it. And then now you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can shortcut so much of that, like we said, because you could literally just ask any of the numerous, tools online now. It's like, hey, if I used this material in this situation with these forces, what is likely to happen? And it's gonna give you a really good, probably fairly accurate answer. Or at least you can say what would be the best way to test this quickly, and then
Yeah.
it would even come up with a test plan for you. So you can be
Mhm.
just iterating these things.
Yeah. You just have to be willing to fail.
Yeah, just be willing to fail. Yeah, I think the days of just like really needing that mentor sitting right next to you, while still highly valuable, like the game has changed a little bit.
Yeah. It'll still accelerate your career path if you have
Sure.
that person.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're not a complete, they're still humans. So
very
you gamble that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you, I
And then how
think
you
it's a
know,
great
right?
opportunity to find yourself as the only or one of limited engineering support in a company.
Mhm.
You're going to learn a lot really fast, and you get to take control,
Yeah.
and you get to take responsibility and ownership and all that granted to you very early. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think one of the superpowers that I've gained over the years, by being one of few engineers on a team, was leveraging the people who actually build the stuff, right? Whether it's a mechanic, whether it's a fiberglass technician, et cetera, right? In your industry, it would be the construction workers, right? The electricians, the
Right.
HVAC guys, right? Leveraging those experts in the hands-on part of the field to learn how to be a better engineer, right? And honestly, I think that education is invaluable in comparison to just learning the theoretical side of things.
Yeah, that's why I spent a whole bunch of time in Mike Holt's forum. Like Mike Holt was like he's the NEC guy. Like he created this whole very one of his large businesses is based on the code book. That us electrical engineers in the building arena study a lot and have to abide by. And he had all sorts of forums and access to endless amounts of questions and different opinions and scenarios. And then you could always go back to the code book for facts and interpretations. And you learned a lot. I learned a lot from that. So it's available. I think the greatest opportunity is that you are, de facto granted, um, ownership and just you get to own the process and you're part of the business. That's amazing. You learn so much when that happens. So
yeah,
go get yourself a job where you're the only one. Let's do it.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I was looking back as I was saying that earlier, and the people that I learned the most from were the machinists, the CAD designer or drafters, et cetera, right? It was the people who were like doing the hands-on work. I learned way more from those guys than I ever did from, the leadership, upper echelon leadership engineer guys.
Yep.
So it's as to be an individual contributor, right? To be an excellent engineer. Obviously, I learned a ton from the leadership guys on leadership,
right?
Because it's two different expertise. But if you are the only engineer at an organization, you need to leverage the people who actually do the work to learn how to be an excellent
become
engineer.
Their best friends. because you're the
Yeah.
the middle person between the floor and the office, the desk jockeys.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, dude.
Yeah. You're a
All information
translator.
will flow through you, and that's a great opportunity.
Yeah. That's a
Heck
good
yeah,
spot to
it
be
is.
in.
All right.
So yeah, short and sweet, but I think it's a message that a lot of folks out there
I
need
guess
to
if you're
hear.
like we're thinking, man, I'm the only one and I'm newish, and that was a problem, like not a problem. Maybe
Yeah,
is the
it's an
message. It's an
opportunity.
opportunity. Yeah, pretty good one too.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't be afraid to
You'd be
make
great
that
on your
jump.
resume, man.
And not only that, yeah, I was
The
the only
engineer.
engineer,
Yeah,
and the company grew from X to X while I was
yeah.
there.
Even if it
I
wasn't
mean,
even you that did it, you still
yeah, that's still a metric
led
you
the
can
engineering
flaunt.
group from 500,000 to 5 million in revenue. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. What'd you do? I just welded in the back.
Walked around, asked questions, learned some stuff.
Yeah.
The company grew around me. It was
Yep.
great. But, I ran the engineering team. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll keep this one short, about 15 minutes or so. So yeah, if you learned something today or think someone else needs to hear this message, please share this episode specifically and leave us a review. 5 stars, a commented review is even better because that is the best way we can create value and impact for the engineering community. Bye.